Welcome to the Solopreneur Academy Podcast. This is a podcast for entrepreneurs who want to make more impact and income in less time. I'm your host, Megan, and throughout each episode, you'll learn how to create the lifestyle and legacy you want as you grow. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Solopreneur Academy Podcast. In this episode, you are about to hear from two of my amazing clients, Jill and Kristen, about their experiences working with me, and I know it is going to inspire so many of you for years to come. So definitely feel free to reference this, and their information is going to be in the show notes. However, before we get into this episode, I know that some of you guys are going to listen to this episode and say, you know what? Megan, I would love to work with you. I have two programs that you can work with me. There's 5-Figure Foundation, which is designed to sign your first or next client. And then I have 6-Figure Scaling, which is designed to help you scale to be fully booked, get a wait list, and even start a group program and make 100K plus within a year. So those are the two programs I have, 5-Figure Foundation and the 6-Figure Scaling Mastermind. And as you listen to this, if you're listening to this in real time, I've got excellent news and a little surprise. This is the week that I'm going to be on my maternity leave, and I'm going to be taking my maternity leave for the next 3 months, just June, July, and August of 2026. So if you're listening to this in real time, that is what is happening. And I've got awesome news for you. Both of my programs, 5-Figure Foundation and 6-Figure Scaling, are both 12-month programs where you're going to get access to me for weekly live coaching calls. You're going to have access to a discussion stream where you can ask any question you want and get feedback. And you also get educational portals so that you can learn how to run your business. And again, sign that first or next client or get fully booked depending on which program you are in. But I was trying to think about it. And initially, I was going to keep both of the programs 12 months just so that we could keep it cohesive and consistent. But I wanted to over deliver for anybody who wanted to join while I'm on maternity leave. So although you won't be getting me in the live coaching calls and you won't be getting me in the discussion stream, I wanted to still give you access. Like if you are hearing this podcast on June 20th of 2026, I didn't want to leave you hanging. If you need to sign a client this summer, or if you want to get ready for that wait list so that you can get fully booked and you want to start a group this year, I didn't want to leave you hanging in a situation where you couldn't get access to all the modules that will teach you how to do the amazing things that you can in your business. And I still wanted to give you live coaching every week. So if you are listening to this in real time, you are going to still be able to join both of these programs, 5-Figure Foundation and the 6-Figure Scaling Mastermind, even while I'm on maternity leave. That means that you are going to get access to all the videos, all of the worksheets, and live coaching calls for an additional time. And then you get 12 months with me where I'm going to be leading your calls. So how my VA is going to go through and my team has a setup is that you are going to get from the point that you decide to sign up for either program. Let's say you sign up in July of 2026. You're going to get an extra 2 months because I'm going to go on maternity. I'll have 2 more months of maternity leave, July and August. And then we're going to work together from September to September. And then you're going to get those 2 additional months. They're just going to be added into your program. So instead of having me for 12 months, you'll get 14 months of access to the program. You're going to get the modules. You're going to get the live calls with my amazing co-coaches that I've trained and shown exactly how to build these, the exact things that I teach on my calls. They are going to be on those calls. And you're also going to get access to the modules. I didn't want to leave you hanging while I was on maternity leave. You can still get access to all those good resources. And then when I come back, you're just going to get 12 months with me. So if you have any questions, please email my team at support@meganwingcoaching.com. They will be able to get back to you And if you're joining and I'm back from maternity leave, excellent news. You just get access to me for the 12 months that you're in either program. I just wanted to give that as a disclaimer before you listen to this awesome podcast because Jill and Kristen are going to inspire you so much. And if you want to join, you can still get in on all the goodness that I have within the portals and within the live coaching calls. And then you get 12 months with me. Without further ado, let me have them introduce themselves. And I can't wait to see you in the next podcast episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Solopreneur Academy Podcast. Today, I have two of my amazing clients, Jill and Kristen, that are here to share with you about their experiences. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited to have both of them on here is they are in two different programs. Kristen is in Five Figure Foundation, and Jill is in Six Figure Scaling. So you're about to hear a lot about the differences between both of them, both of their businesses. And I think I'm going to be sending this out to people who are like, which program is a good fit for me? I'll be like, let's find out. We could talk about all the different features and things like that. But if you are interested in joining either of those programs, both links to the sales pages for both of the programs are below. So you'll get to see all the features and that jazz. But you know what I found is even better than talking about like, here are the things that you get when you work with me versus here are the things that people have actually created, the results that people are creating within these programs. And so I was like, let's have both of these amazing ladies on to talk about their experiences. And without further ado, we're going to have Jill come on first. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about some of the mindset breakthroughs that you've had within Six Figure Scaling.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jill Davenport. I'm a holistic life and business coach for ambitious empaths and creatives. And I help them to stop overcomplicating their dreams, activate their inner badass, and build a life they actually want without burning out. And this program has been amazing for me. I have had so many breakthroughs. It was kind of hard for me to pinpoint them all, but a few of them, I would say like the top one is the data over drama. Yes. So I hadn't broken down and tracked all of my actions that I was doing like I am now. And it really helps me to see things in black and white, what I did, because it can feel like I've done a lot. And then I look at the numbers and they might tell a different story. So, so then from there, I can see what I need to do differently. And also seeing like breaking it down, like from the end point that I want and breaking it down, like how many clients I want, how many clients I need to sign to make the money that I want, and how many consults I need to have to get those clients, and how many DMs I need to send, how many posts I need to do, how many events I need to do, and all of that. So it's really gotten me to look at things, and I had resistance to it at first because I'm not very good at tracking things or like remembering to keep up with things, but that's really helped me a lot to be like, oh, okay, I see why that not that many people came to this workshop or whatever, because I didn't invite that many. So it's really helped me with that.
I'm so glad. And I think that for me, what I see for every single person that's listening to this podcast, anybody that feels like business can be hard, my goal is that business is simple, that every one of you have a formula to create money, that you have the ability, each and every one of you, to do certain things that create a certain result. And the more we can just take a look at it and be totally objective and just be like, okay, if this is a result I want, if I want to sign clients, if I want to bring in people, what could I do? What have I done in the past that worked? And how can I replicate that and then scale it? And so I think that that has been huge for me. I also had so much resistance to my numbers, and try and do it in a way that makes it feel better. And there's a rainbow spreadsheet. So that makes it pretty at least. So it's like, at least if we're looking at numbers, at least it looks nice. And I think that that helps too. But I love that breakthrough because I think it's going to help a lot of people on the podcast to be like, oh, it really like the money faucet isn't just a like concept. It literally is data. It's you can turn it on and off if you can do the numbers. And I love that. Okay, so that's awesome. I love this. Kristen, if you want to go ahead and give an introduction to people to let them know who you are and who you help, and what has been a big mindset breakthrough for you that we've had since we've worked together.
Okay, my name's Kristen, and I help parents teach their babies and toddlers to sleep independently using responsive, gentle sleep methods, sleep coaching methods.
So good.
And my biggest mindset breakthrough would have to be literally everything because I've never owned a business before. And so everything that I've been doing is brand new to me. I got the certification, I got the knowledge, and then I was like, now what do I do? And one thing I've really liked is I've realized I don't have to have everything figured out to move forward. That I can just do this thing today, and that just showing up is what matters. And I don't have to be able to sit down for hours and hours and hours to work on my systems, that it can fit in the fragments of my day around everything else that I want to do, being at home with my kids, um, my nursing career, and all the other things. I can fit it in
I love
to
that.
my day. Yeah.
Well, and you have two under two, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So
Two
having
and a
that
half, but yeah.
2.5. It's like still, I think quite a feat
Yeah.
because I think a lot of times there are people who come to me and they're thinking, A, you need to be a life coach. You do not need to be a life coach. Sleep coach totally applies in many other niches. But I think the other thing is if you have young kids, people are thinking, oh, this is great. Like, I'll do this when my kids are in school. I'll do this when my kids are grown up, but this is applicable. That's one of the reasons why I created this. As you guys know, I'm going on maternity leave in 2 months. So it's like, this is why I created this program is for people with all types of situations. Kids, no kids, full-time, part-time. It can fit into weird pockets of the day, and it doesn't have to be something that is so it consumes all of your life. So I love that. Okay, so good. Jill, back to you. Let's talk about some tangible accomplishments. Who doesn't love to hear about like what kind of things you've created since you've been working with me?
Okay. Well, I have so many other mindset breakthroughs, and I
Oh,
don't know how
please,
many you want me to
all
cover,
of
but
them.
I want to
Literally
share them
anything
with
that
anybody
please
who's
do.
listening.
Because I was like, I was gonna ask you more questions because I know that you said you wrote stuff down, and I was like, wait, let's make sure we hit everything. And I will come back and just in case we miss something, but share any other mindset breakthroughs because I know anyone on this podcast wants to grow. They are determined, and anything that you can give them, like little nuggets of wisdom, would be invaluable.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so finding the cycles of and like finding the up and down cycles and noticing them and then hacking them so that the low cycles are shorter, like just really getting like dialing in and seeing like, okay, what am I thinking when this is happening? What am I doing when this is happening? What
Yeah.
am I doing when I'm in a high cycle? And so really like being able to track that instead of just like being in it,
Yeah.
noticing it.
And
Yeah.
just for anybody, so what Jill is talking about is like, you know how like you hit like riffs in your business? You know how you hit a bump when you're like feeling in a rut? I call those low energy cycles, or sometimes it's referred to as like low value cycles. So Jill is saying that like when she's hit, like it's not like we've been working together for over a year at this point. It's not like it's been rainbows and daisies every single moment. I want to make that realistic for everybody. So you're saying that when you hit those low cycles, you are able to A, understand them and move out of them and get into high energy value, higher cycles faster, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, yeah, so I'm also spending way less time spending in confusion, which was my favorite way to sabotage and just like get nothing done. As a multi-passionate person, I will just like, I'm very creative. So I'll just go around in circles and be like, oh, I'm so confused. And I spend way less time doing that since I've been in your program. And then also that that you can be funny and friendly and have the golden retriever energy and still have a very successful business. So I love that you model that.
Yes,
I
I
don't know if you want
do.
me to say that,
Well,
but
I feel like a lot of times people think that they have to be like prim and proper and professional. And I think that everybody who listens to this podcast knows that I have elements where I share my wisdom and I've got those like sage teachery leadership moments, but I'm also a very real person. I don't want you guys to ever like inauthenticate yourself in order to make money. And I think that thank you for reflecting that back. And I appreciate that because that's what I want for everybody who listens to this.
yeah, it's nice to see because you don't see it that often. But I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this works.
It
So
does.
yeah. And then seeing, oh, okay, so also not prejudging consults. That was a big mindset shift.
That was a huge one
Taking
this
them
year.
taking them all through the same process and letting the process lead.
Yes. Because I think a
Yes.
lot, and actually, I want to do a whole podcast about this, but do you mind just sharing really quickly about like how you used to have questions before a consult and like just share about like why that has been a big shift for you? Because I
Yeah.
literally actually talked about this in the new scaling systems or this six-figure scaling modules. I literally went in and I talked about that in the new sales module because of what we talked about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I had like a form that people filled out, and from that form, I could glean information. But sometimes that would make me think about, oh, and sometimes I'd be right. But it's good to just I'd be like, oh, I think they're wanting this or whatever, and I would start to create ideas about them before we went in, and I'd already start to think like, oh, you know what, I don't think this is going to be right for them, or I don't think, that I can help them or whatever. And so we took my form down so that I just go in because it's like, let me see how I can actually help them. Like, let me not just decide beforehand that they don't need my help or that it's like there's something going on that's not what they intended to be booking for. And it's like, let's just be curious on the call and take them through it.
And why this is such a good seven figures, 6 to 7 figure skill and a scalable skill is if you are thinking about growing your business to 100 plus K within your business, you're going to get colder leads. The more you grow, the more randos on the internet you're going to bring in. And if you can learn at this stage the skill of converting people like that, not only is it going to make it easier if you decide to do ads and things like that and bring in really cool people who have never ever met you before, but it also is going to be a skill that can help you on webinars when you're selling to a bunch of people that you don't know at all. And you're like, I had like 495 people on one webinar, and there was no way I could prejudge or learn from all of them. And it really sets you up to scale. So that's why that's a 6 figure scaling skill. But I think that you're like, that was a huge piece of learning for you this year. And I think it's made you so much stronger at consults too.
Yeah, thank you. And then another thing was that so I have a hard time starting things that I know are going to be hard. And then I know there's going to be a lot of steps because I've had a business that I've done online stuff for a long time. And I know that like the things that we start like just little like tech stuff. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, this is going to take a long time and I won't do it. But just sitting down that one time and seeing how you do it, just like, okay, let's do it. We can do this, and this, and just like doing it, gunning through it imperfectly, and then going back to tweak it later is like such a time saver because a lot of the stuff, most of the stuff is the blocks are up here.
Yes. Well, that's the thing that I'm like on our calls for both 5 figure foundation and 6 figure scaling. I like to do stuff with you on the calls just to show you that like there are a lot of intimidating things. The learning curve, I don't want to misrepresent what being a solopreneur is for anybody. There are lots of things to learn from a tech perspective, from a visibility and exposure therapy perspective. There are curves. But the more you can do it and feel safe in an environment and understand that it is just a skill set, the faster you're going to make money and the faster you're going to take action. And I'm so glad that you've seen that within this business because sometimes you just need somebody to sit with you and be like, okay, pull up Flowdesk. Let's make or what was it you use for your email list?
MailerLite.
MailerLite. I was like, wait, like pull it up. You share your screen. We're gonna make a landing page for your webinar. But once you
Yeah.
did that once, it was like, oh, now you've been able to crush it every single time since then, which is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. Well, I think it was there anything. Oh, I wanted to come back to are there any other mindset things that you were wanting to share?
I think those are the main
Those are
things.
great
Yeah.
ones. Well,
Hmm.
'cause I just wanted to cycle back because I forgot about being multi-passionate. You like touched on that and I forgot to come back to it. Being a multi-passionate person, tell me kind of what that means for you. So anyone who's listening to this podcast, if you identify yourself in this way, what even though you've been a multi-passionate human, how working together hasn't destroyed the multi-passionateness and or also has created opportunities for you from there.
Yeah. So, okay, I've had many niches. As a multi-passionate person, I have so many different certifications. I started out my business as a massage therapist and Reiki practitioner, and then I moved online. I've been a health coach. I've been a business coach, a money coach, a visibility coach, a story coach. And then when I came to Megan, I was what is it called? Sunsetting my visibility coaching niche. And then I went into a niche to a life and business coach. And I was able to put a program together that brought in all of my skills. So I didn't have to leave no tool behind. So I was able to incorporate all of that into this program. And I've actually had my program for a year. And I haven't had the same program for a year, like since like ever as a program. So it was a really big deal, and it's allowed me to be because to be like, oh, I want to do this now. Oh, you know what? But I also have a background as an actor, and I should bring in this. And so there was always this like, I don't want to lose that part of myself. I still want to bring that in, but like I was able to bring it into a way that was marketable and that I could talk about all these things and help people and like find a way to bring it in like holistically, which has been really helpful and helped me to stay out of confusion because like everybody gets to play.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this has been so, I think, helpful for so many people because I think that, like, for me, when I talk about one offer, I never want to stifle somebody's creativity. And I don't want you to feel like it's going to create less opportunities for you. And I think that what we found by working together, and if this is you and you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to feel constricted. I think what we found is that by you having one offer, it's eliminated confusion, but it also has compiled all of your past experience. So it's given you the best of both. It's been like, okay, we have the lack of confusion, but we also have the direction that incorporates everything from the past. So I'm really excited for this for you. And I'm so excited for everybody that's listening to this. And I know that we need to get into like tangible accomplishments too. So I was like, there's so many things that we can talk about here within mindset. And again, I'm going to go and within the show notes, Kristen and Jill's information is going to be in there. So if you need a sleep coach, if you need a holistic business coach, you got them and you can ask them questions. I'll include all their information. But what has been a tangible accomplishment that you've experienced within six-figure scaling? What have you been feeling?
Oh, okay. Yes. I didn't know if Kirsten wanted to go, but
Yeah,
okay.
I'll come back to Kristen. And Kristen,
Okay.
feel free to get all the mindset thoughts, anything that you want. We're going to do a whole other segment.
Okay, so tangible accomplishments. I have a long list here too. Okay, so got my program down and the category pillars, which was really helpful, the marketing pillars for my program. So it's not just like, oh gosh, because there's a lot of things I could help with, but it's like, how do we create a marketable and like keyword way to talk about these things?
Yes, because for anyone that hasn't, if this is, let's say, your first time ever listening to the podcast, what pillars are is a way to describe the intangible benefits of working with you and getting your service So instead of saying like, I'm a neurolinguistic programming coach, or like whatever somebody might have as an experience, or like Kristen saying that she's a gentle sleepers coach. Like it's like that can be confusing to people if they don't know that style. And Kristen has had other like different things where I'm like, oh, what is that? It's like you don't want people to be like looking at your social media and asking questions. You want them to be clear. Okay, I would say this a lot recently, but I'm like, could Sally on the street understand it? How can we take all of the experience you have as an expert and distill it down to something that in fair, not to diminish other humans' thoughts, but like in layman's terms, in a average, like translate all of the things that you know into something that is that shows the value of what you do. So that I think has been really helpful for me too, just so that I'm not like, it's a Tuesday. What the heck am I going to talk about on my social media? It's like, oh, I'm going to talk about this pillar. We're going to talk about this facet and make it clear for the people.
Yes. Yes. It's definitely helped me with my social media stuff. And I've taken a lot of social media courses and
Yeah.
this has helped me a lot. And then I started a podcast. Yeah.
Which is
So
pretty awesome.
that was another tangible result. I've been getting out more, doing talks for other people's audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying hello to people in the DMs, which I'm not all the way there yet, but I've definitely grown a lot with my mindset on that and then actually doing it. So
And
that
that's what I
was,
think. So for everybody, the cool thing about being in my programs is perfection is never expected ever. You do not need to do things perfectly. I don't do things perfectly. I hope that I'm a role model for all of you that like I never want it to be exactly perfect. It is going to be something that is a work in process and we sometimes get really good at responding to things and sometimes we don't. But at the same time, just knowing and developing that mindset and skill set is huge. And also, the difference between five-figure foundation and six-figure scaling is that one to many. It's that getting out there, creating that visibility within maybe a long form piece of content like a podcast. It's getting out into communities and doing different summits. And I think that that is so huge. So if you're thinking about scaling to six and multiple six figures, I don't think it's like you don't obviously have to have a podcast. I made six figures without anyone signing up for my podcast, but I think it's just the ability to be a leader in an industry and see yourself as somebody who can lead more than just one person at a time, but join in with the masses. So I think that's huge.
yeah, absolutely. Other people's audiences are, yeah,
It's a big
that's
deal.
great. Yeah. And then I have systems for marketing and sales. My consults are so much easier to do now because of your consult format. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to get on and this is what we're going to work through. Makes it so simple.
And it's not a script for anyone that's
No.
listening to this. It is not something that like you're gonna read off of and be like, because I felt like I learned that in a lot of other programs, and I was like, that just didn't feel like me. It did not feel authentic. And especially if you're going to like multiple six figures, you don't want to have a script for a consult. You want to be able to make it something that is and customizable for your people.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I also have better systems for client onboarding, tracking their progress, and offboarding. So the systems have been really helpful. That's actually why I joined because I was like, I need systems. Like I just feel like I am sort of just like keeping everything in my head, doing,
Yeah.
like I hadn't learned how to use systems. I'm not a spreadsheet person. I love that you use the rainbow on the spreadsheet because it makes it much more palatable.
I'm so good.
And I use that too. And then having standard operating procedures, I have those now. And I actually got a client and helped her to create standard operating procedures in her business as well, because I saw that she was struggling with certain aspects of her business. And I was like, we need to create standard operating procedures for this. And so you could just have it streamlined. So that's been really helpful for me. And it's sort of like, oh, I know how to do this now. And it's kind of like, oh, what is this? It's fancy. It's like,
Oh, it's like, oh,
I
it's
love
like
it.
For me, as a teacher, I had never had a standard operating procedure in my life. I literally had no idea what an SOP was. And it's literally just a checklist. It's just like, hey, every time you do a webinar, here are the things that you do. It makes sense, but I had never put them into place. And it makes things, especially for me personally with ADHD, it makes my life so much easier. And I think that also, just from a business standpoint, everyone that works with me that also helps other people with businesses take everything that I teach you and use it for your people. I'm like, there is no part of me that feels like, oh my gosh, you can't teach what I teach to your people. If you are a business coach and wants to work with me, take what I teach and teach your people. We're going to have different people, and I have no qualms against that. That was a good thing. I forgot to mention that. So awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you, Gail.
I love that. And I also love that you have ADHD because I'm like, oh, okay, I see. Like you're running a high level operation here and you're doing it with your systems because I also have ADHD and it's running my in-person business was easier with this, but online it's more difficult because there's a lot more things to get distracted with. So it's nice to see you model that.
Gosh, of course. Oh, Jill, this is so good. Okay, we have talked for ages. Kristen, now it's your turn. And you do not need to talk for ages, I promise. I feel like there's so much to go through. But within this, we can either go, if you've had anything that Jill and I have been talking about, if you're like, ooh, this sparked an idea for me about like the breakthroughs in my mindset that I've had, feel free to share. And or we can get into tangible accomplishments too.
Okay. I will say the systems is a big thing. I don't know if that's, well, it's tangible and mindset based.
Yeah.
Um, because I am a a big list maker, not a list follower.
That is
Um,
so true.
so I can make a list all day, checking it off and then like finding it later, I've struggled with. But with your systems and the stuff that you like, your worksheets are probably my favorite. I love some homework. I love a good worksheet. And like actually going through and doing the work and setting up the systems make it so much easier to come back to and actually like follow through.
Do you mind me asking for the people of the podcast if they're like systems? Like, for instance, for you, I know that you learned how to use like when I think the reason why I've kind of steered a smidge away from the word systems is because people were like, oh, you're going to teach me how to use a fancy CRM and we're going to do something that's really complicated. Can you tell the people what I do with systems that makes it like not that crazy for you?
Yes, I guess the biggest thing would be like content creation systems, because there's so much that goes into it. And when I was going through my certification and they were talking about like launching your business, the way they presented it was not helpful, to be honest. And so I sat there and was like, oh my gosh, I have to post something on the internet for everyone to see. And it's just, there's so much. But when you break it down into the chief marketing officer role and the content creator role and the copywriter role, it made it so much easier for me to actually get something done instead of just staring at my Canva like, what what do I do now? Um, and so I'm actually able to create and put stuff out and not spend 6 hours and come back to it 10 different times and post once a week. One of the tangible accomplishments is my content calendar for April is done.
Already?
Done.
Look at this. Okay,
And
so like a whole month.
yeah, and I don't, so I don't have to think about it. Whereas before I think my first, I think I had posted maybe once or twice before we started working together.
Yeah.
And one of those, uh, like posts, it took me 4.5 hours
Oh, yeah.
total.
Mhm.
Um, I was looking at my phone during dinner. I was like second guessing, what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, all the things. And then now I've got 30 days worth.
insane. And I think that like that's my hope for everybody that listens to this podcast is that I want you to know that it can be simple. I did the exact same thing. I think that literally everyone who listens to this podcast either is in the place where they're taking like 6 hours on a piece of content, 4.5 hours, checking their phone, making sure you double check the copy, making sure like if people don't like it, then also that can feel horrible versus being like, okay, I know what to do. I feel confident that I know how to create content. I've got a system where we have a very clear process for like, this is the image I choose, and this is how to write the post. And then we're going to get it out there, but it doesn't feel stressful. And that I just want everybody to know that that's so possible, even if you're just starting your business. And actually, Kristen, do you mind sharing? Because I think that sometimes people think that if you get more content ideas, it can be helpful. And I know that a lot of people who listen to this podcast, like myself, are very in love with ChatGPT and all of the AIs. And you didn't even have like an AI system. You just your certification gave you like 200 posts, wasn't it? Or like, it was
Yeah.
something crazy. Do you mind sharing about like how even if you have a lot of content ideas, how what you've learned in Five Figure Foundation has helped you to distill masses of information and make it simple?
Yeah, so my certification gave us all and so they're the same caption, the same graphics for the certification, 200 posts to like get started. And at first I was like, this is great, but then I started going through it and reading, and I got really lost because I was like, okay, but when do I put this out? How does this apply to my audience? Um, it never had any kind of call to action. It had nothing about me or my story. It was just knowledge. It was just information. I was like, okay, that's great. I have all this information, but connecting with somebody, getting a testimony from somebody, like I still had all this content and didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah. And I think that
Uh,
a lot of people might feel that way.
yeah, yeah.
So how did it, so what have we done? And you've only been working with me for like 4 months, right? It really hasn't been long.
Yeah, yeah. December. Yeah,
This
Christmas.
is, yeah, okay, so literally it's been 4 months, almost, I mean, not really almost today, but like close to it. So how did taking this crazy, and again, it sounds really helpful. I think a lot of people here like, oh, 200 posts. Of course, that would be great for us to do. But how did you learn how to take that and give it your own Kristen flavor?
So I know Jill talked about this earlier. The pillars were a big part of like figuring out how to post content and what category it goes under.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess like I don't always have to educate people. It has to be um because I'm all about, learning, but being able to put my story into my content, and then my client's story into my content, how to add that in, was a big help, was a big deal.
Because I think that like, and I was just, it's interesting. I've talked with 3 clients today about AI. And I think that, again, we love chat. We are here for a good AI system. And we're also here for, like, as a former teacher, gotta love educating people. We are so supportive of that. And I think the differentiator, and I was actually even talking about my friend about this at dinner. One of the things that I think for at least for me, I can't foresee the next decade going away is as a service-based business owner, the value that you give to a person is it goes beyond just the tangible support you give them. It's that human aspect. It's
Hmm.
being able to be like, I've been in your shoes. I can relate to you. And you can give chat prompts all day long, and chat can write posts for you all day long. But unless you have that personal story that creates an emotional connection, you can still sign clients, of course, but that's the piece that people are buying now is they could work with a million sleep coaches, but I want to know Kristen's story. I want to know about her 2.5-year-old and what kind of struggles she experienced and how she was able to overcome it. And then they also want to see the proof of concept. Like, oh my gosh, you worked with somebody for 8 weeks and they were able to get their kid to sleep. This is incredible. And so I think those two elements are things that are not AIable and ways that we can actually really connect with our people. And that's how we can get people to sign up quickly to really truly support them, you know?
Yeah.
Love this. So thank you for sharing that. Any other tangible or mindset breakthroughs that you've had?
So you said we've been working together since December.
Mhm.
Um, I launched technically in October.
Mhm.
And I've had 6 clients. I've helped 6 families get better sleep at night, which is, amazing, which is what my passion is. I love sleep.
Yeah.
And and I love that my kids sleep.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like that I think is the coolest part about being a service-based business owner is it is about the financial and time freedom that we create for ourselves, but it's also about the impact we're creating. And I think that that's the biggest thing for me too, is like when I think about like Jill being able, like living in Little Rock and the things that you've been able to do and experience, and like you being able to live and support your family, like that's the bigger why. That's my thing is like, I want my business to be something that gives to me and gives back. And that's what you can do. You can give back to so many people. And I'm thinking about like, of course, I'm Eve started kicking like right now. I'm like, this is definitely going to be something that we are going to be thinking about as we bring this beautiful little one into the world because sleep is important to me too. And I'm so glad you've been able to help all these awesome humans with this. So this is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all this. Oh, this is so good. It was like, it also, I don't know if I can share this, but I'm like, Kristen, this is your first podcast you've ever been on.
Yes.
Ever in her whole
First
life.
first time on the internet with my face and my voice. Yes.
It's so cool. So first and foremost, like everyone who's listening to this is like giving you just like mental cheering you on. But I'm so excited for you and just thinking about you 5 years from now. Like we were talking about this right before we jumped on. Like I'm so excited to see how many more people you impact and help. And thank you just so much for just like sharing all this. It's so awesome. And we're gonna go around two more times. We're gonna ask if you, okay, so if anyone's listening to this podcast, I genuinely want you to feel like you are getting somebody or you're getting the information about this program. If you're thinking about joining, what is this actually like? So, Jill, why don't we go to you? And if somebody is listening to this podcast right now, what would you tell them if they're thinking about working with me?
I would say I would say, first of all, do it. If you're thinking about it, do it. Megan is so intuitive and she meets you where you are. Like she believes in you and she will coach you hard, but she will also soften when you're struggling. Like that's so valuable. So you're so intuitive and you know things before we say them and it's so helpful and it's not like just push through. Like I've had a lot of coaches that have been like, okay, just do this and this, and it's like, oh, come on, why can't you? And I have a very strong-willed subconscious, and it will dig its feet in as hard as I push it to go the other way. And it's just been so nice to have you just like know where to push and know where to soften and be like, okay, we're gonna slow it down and back it up. And it's like these are things that I don't think you really talk about that much in your marketing,
Yeah.
but I really find these to be like some of your greatest strengths as a coach.
Thank you so much because it's hard to kind of describe that for other people. I should talk about that more, but like I've been in situations like that too, where it's just like push, push, push. And I understand as a business coach, especially like you want to get people results. So it's like if somebody isn't posting for some reason, I think that I've experienced before is like somebody felt anxious that I wasn't posting or doing the things they were saying, and they got nervous about it, and they were like, well, you really need to post. Why haven't you been posting? It's like, was it? And it made me honestly really anxious and I kind of shut down. So instead, like you were saying that like you fight back, for me, I just won't. Like I'll disengage entirely. And that's one of the things for me. I really don't want to create a community like that. We're all going to go through phases. Like, I'm so glad you mentioned the energy cycles. Like, we're all going to have experiences, but I really, and you can always be honest with me and be like, hey, Meg's like, we need to push back, we need to move forward. But I just had a conversation on Monday with somebody, and I was like, are you okay with us like not pushing and us like actually taking this month for you to just like post and maybe talk to people, but like they're going through a lot personally. And I'm like, I know that you've hired me to be your coach and I want to push you to the next level in growth. And I think that we need to slow down before we speed up. And I thank you for saying that because I really don't know how to describe that to other people, but thank you because that's what
Yeah.
for all of you.
Yeah, it's really helpful because, yeah, I mean, I don't push back with the coach really. It's not like I fight them. It's my
Yeah.
subconscious fights me. It's
Yes.
so strong-willed.
Yeah.
And so it's been really helpful to be like, okay, we can slow it down. It's like
Mhm.
softens my nervous system and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, just like letting go of the tension. And it's just really nice that you know how to do that. And I feel like you're very sensitive and but you're also like a total badass business coach. So
I love that.
yeah.
It's that's the goal. That's the goal. It's
Yeah.
going to be for all of you.
And then I would also say if you want to get into a rhythm with your marketing and sales, it's a yes, because that's really helped me to get into a rhythm and just like, okay, here's the things that we're doing. And it's like every month I do a workshop or a webinar or whatever. And it's like, these are the things to do. And you really help with that.
Thank you. I think that for me was I want like literally one of my goals is that solopreneurship can feel like like a regular career. Like you come into work, you do the things, and this will make you grow. I think that creates first routines, I think create safety for me. But like if anybody is like, okay, I really haven't been consistently posting. If I like if you want to scale to set like six figures and you want to grow and scale and you don't know how to put together a workshop and you're not doing something that's like a monthly sales event, I would love to support you in creating those routines and habits so that it feels simple. It doesn't feel stressful. That's the intent and that's the goal. So thank you. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
what I'm
And
like.
then I would also say if you want to have ways to track your progress and have someone to hold you accountable, and back to the other point and totally understand what you're going through when you're in the mind drama, Meg's your girl.
Yes.
She's gonna help you track it. And when things don't go well, when you look at it back and go, oh, I didn't do much, she's not gonna make you feel bad about it. She's gonna go, okay, let's take a look at it. And it's just like it's so nice and it's so like just a supportive environment.
I'm never going to scold you. I will be very real with you. I'm like, oh, I also didn't do that. It's like, no big deal. Moving on.
Yeah.
Instant forgiveness. Let's do this better this month. So that's perfect. I love it.
Yeah, and then the last thing I'll say is that Megan is so gracious and generous, and she really cares. Like, she will not let you fall behind. She really, really cares. And sometimes you get into programs or whatever, and it's like, oh, I don't know if they're really like paying, they kind of lose track. But like, she genuinely cares about everyone. And it's so nice to have like you remember things. I'm going back and forth between who I'm talking to, but she remembers things about you. Like she really gets to know who you are and like remembers things about you, your life, your business. And so it's so nice because it's like, oh, okay, she gets it. I don't have to keep telling her about the same thing because she remembers. So it's really helpful, like holistically, I'll say.
Like even as I grow and scale, as you guys listen to this podcast, It might be 5 to 10 years from now, but I don't think that I want that energy to ever go away. I want to look at every single client as an individual, no matter how big this gets. I want to know people's names. I want to know your offer. Like, I really do think, like, of course, the more you get coached, the more I know you. But like, I really do feel like just such a responsibility as your coach to be your person to support you in whatever way that I can. And I'm really, really glad that you feel that because that's literally like, I wouldn't do this if I didn't feel like I wanted every single person to feel like they got this real individualized experience with me. So I just love you. Thank you, Jill.
You're
And yeah,
welcome. And can I just say one more thing?
yes, of
At the
course.
time of this recording, I'll say in the programs,
Yes.
it feels like the best of both worlds. It feels like a one-on-one coaching experience and with a group as well.
Yes.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
Well,
So
especially because you get within the mastermind, within Five Figure Foundation, of course, I wish I could do this too, but you get a weekly like piece of feedback from me every single week. And so that's my goal is that I want it to feel like a hybrid. I want it to feel like you're getting one-on-one and group within this, regardless of how much I scale. I still want it to feel that way. So here's hoping it always still feels like that. And also, I'm so, so glad that you felt like that within, and you're doing another year. So we're going
yeah,
to be together for like until summer of next year, which I'm so, so excited to continue being your coach. Like, I can't wait to see where we are a year from now. And actually, really quick, because I want to be mindful of y'all's time, do you want to tell people where they can find you? And then we'll finish up with Kristen.
yeah, sure. You can find me. My website is jilldavenport.com. I'm on Instagram at jilldavenport_. I'm on LinkedIn, Jill Davenport. I don't know. Find me.
We will find you. And also, the best part is, instead of you having to go and look up Jill, it's all going to be in the show notes. So if you are
Right.
thinking about hiring a one-on-one amazing holistic business coach, I genuinely could not recommend anyone more. Jill really also is in the same capacity. She really cares about you. She wants to drive you forward. She has so many other expertises that you can rely on and that she can really bring to the table. So if you are thinking about hiring her, definitely do it and book a consult using the link in our show notes. And it's going to be awesome. So
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Of course. And Kristen, take us home. If somebody is thinking about working with me, maybe they're a sleep coach, maybe they're just anyone who's listening to this, what would you tell them about working with me? And then we'll talk about where to find you.
All right. Can I start by saying I'm biased because
Yes.
I've known you for a long time, even before I decided I wanted to run a business.
Yeah.
Um, and so even while I was doing my certification, in my brain, I was like, okay, as soon as I get done with this, I've got to call Megan and tell her. And I've got to be coached by her. She's got to teach me how to do solopreneur. Like I need to know. So you were like my immediate thought. Um, and what else?
If you do need to know how to solopreneur, I will say I definitely think I can help you with that. It's really like, and I was talking again with a friend at dinner last night. And I'm like, all of the same things that I did to grow my coaching business apply to so many other businesses. We were talking about like, because we both got married last year, we were talking about even like doing consults with like florists or wedding planners. How I was like, oh, this is because we were just comparing like service-based businesses and like the people who a lot of us start these because we are passionate, but we don't have any business experience. I was a teacher for the love of goodness. I was like, I didn't have a sales experience. I had never posted online. I didn't know what to do. So if that is you and you're just like, I really love helping people, I love providing my service, and I need to know how to solopreneur, I would love to help you solopreneur.
Yes, exactly. My background is nursing and
Yes.
my passion is sleep because I'm a mom of two under two and sleep is important.
Yes.
But solopreneur, I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Let me call Megan.
It's complicated. And none of us, okay, I want to say that, like, even if people come from, like, let's say a copywriting background, like, one of my clients was literally a magazine editor. So she had definitely had experience, but it's a totally different world when you are promoting yourself and your services. And so I would love to help anybody who's like, I don't know what to do when it comes to solopreneurship. I would love to support you to make it simple and easy and doable, you know?
Yeah. The other big thing is the feedback. Like it's one thing to Google how to do this or chat GPT how to do this, but having you every week to actually like pull up my Instagram, pull up my content calendar, look at my website, talk through my consults with me has been like un I don't know. My mind just went blank. Mom brain.
Helpful. I like it's
Yes,
been
it's been so helpful.
But I think that that's something I wanted too, because I had a lot of coaches that would help me with my mindset around things, which I think is really, really fantastic. Like, I think that if sometimes you just need somebody to hold your hand and talk you through it. But I didn't, for me personally, I'm very much like, I need somebody to give me feedback. I need somebody to actually like take a look at my post because I will coach people on their mindset and I'm like, oh, they're in a really good place. And then I look at the post and I'm like, oh, wait, this needed a tactical shift. And it's like, it's not that it's bad. It's just that, like, I know from experience that, like, even if ChatGPT wrote it, it doesn't mean that it is hitting the marks it might need to. So I do think that I'm glad that the feedback has been helpful because that's what I wished I had had and why I created this.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest is the feedback.
I'm so,
And
so
watching you, the group, watching and listening to other people and their stories and what they're struggling with and how you help them and what I can glean off of watching you coach other people has been really helpful too.
I'm so, so glad. And like, I think I showed you guys this on Tuesday, actually. So for me, I have a document. I do mindset work on myself every day. And I have 153, I think, pages of just like all of these notes that I got from other people's coaching. And I was like, oh, this is helpful. Oh, I need to coach myself on this. This is something that's like, over the past, again, it's been a long time. It's been 5 years. But for me, sometimes I get some of the most help when I see somebody else struggling with either a problem that I currently have or a problem that I'm about to have. And if I can prevent a future problem, I'm like, oh, this is worth every penny. Because then that saved me maybe a month, 2 months, a year of struggling when I didn't need to. So I love this. And I know that there are going to be, I am kind of pseudo niching to like talk to moms. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a mom. Jill, you are not a mama. So everybody is welcome. And also I got three guys messaged me. They were like, are you only coaching women? And I was like, no, everybody's welcome. There are people of any human is welcome to get coached. However, I know that there are moms that might be listening to this and they might need a sleep coach, myself included, in 2 months. So if they are like, oh my goodness, I've never A, heard of a sleep coach before, and B, my kid is not sleeping through the night, where can they find you?
So they can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Graceful Sleepers is my name. My website is also gracefulsleepers.com. Um, it is named after my very first daughter. Her name is Grace.
That,
Oh,
you
and huh?
that was we were gonna name our child. I wanted my name forever was Grace Ann, and then Rob's sister's second daughter's name Grace Ann. I was
Oh,
like, no,
they
we
stole
can't
it
do
from
that. So now it's Yvette Ann, and it's gonna be great.
And your coaching pages was 310 pages.
Oh, well, there we go. 310 pages of coaching. Yep. You guys, it's been a lot of learning over the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, any coaching call that I'm on, I'm like, I'm going to get something from this, either whether it's from hearing somebody else or I'm going to glean it and I put it in one document. I might need to summarize that at some point. I'm like, that's a lot of pages, 310. I didn't realize that. That's hilarious. So, yeah. You learn a lot from other people. And I'm so, so glad that you guys were able to come in today. And I will include Kristen and Jill's information in the show notes. Please find them if you need their support. They are like truly amazing, amazing women. Their services are impeccable. And so if you are thinking about working with them, please look up their information. They're fantastic. Or just follow along and watch how awesome their content is and all the things that they're doing. All of those things are fantastic. And again, if you're thinking about working with me and have questions, reach out. The links to both of my programs are in the show notes too. And I cannot wait to see you all in the next episode. Have a great one, everybody. Did you know that 89% of people need to see a testimonial in order to buy? Get my free testimonial template using the link in the show notes, and you'll see exactly how I used testimonials to market my business as it grew to 120K in my first year full-time and multiple six figures every year after that. Thank you so much again for listening, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Solopreneur Academy Podcast.